When the bedroom came and the flood hit, I put the backlog into the space and decided to go to the nearby military base to get some special equipment boxes based on the previous memory. Base personnel was sent out to rescue the car after the flood, which left a lot of weapons and equipment missing for about 2 hours. I arrived near the military base because it's low-lying, so it's basically flooded, and there's no reference point, so I don't know exactly where it is. I looked for a long time, and finally I saw a military helicopter parked on the roof of a building that for some reason didn't fly. I'm so excited to be rich and have a helicopter to go wherever I want. Luckily it's just in time. If it's a few hours late, then the helicopter would be flooded. And I put the helicopter in the space, and then I took it out of the space and I replaced it. At this time, there are countless animals and human bodies floating under the water. And because the water is mixed with a lot of soil, the visibility is not good under the water. I do not know where the weapons warehouse is in the end. I can only search one by one and finally find a military warehouse on the 3rd floor of one of the buildings. It's lined up with tables under the walls and boxes. I think it was bullets, and I didn't know if I was gonna be able to use all this silk gear. And then I picked it up and I continued to search the area. There were several tanks floating in the water not far ahead. What is the situation? How can such a heavy tank float on the water? I went over and found out that it was a water amphibious tank. I've got helicopters, and now I've got amphibious tanks, and who dares to mess with me? And I've got them in the space, and I've got them in the building. The helicopter was taken out, and it took more than 2 hours to get back to the people's house by boat from here, and now it takes only half an hour to fly to the people's house. I landed the helicopter in a deserted area and put him into the space, and then took out the boat and headed for the courtyard. In this regard, must learn to tone down the phone to avoid human design to reach the famous store community is already completed when the water level has risen to 5. I came to the elevator, so I have to climb the stairs to the 36th floor, which is quite high. But luckily I drank 0 spring water, so the physical work of climbing the stairs is not taxing at all. When I got home, I couldn't wait to get into the space and see if the equipment didn't work. I went into the warehouse space and I went into the tank, and a little bit of fumbling actually got me started. I went back a little bit to get familiar with the operation, and then I went to test the guns. Fortunately, the case was well sealed and the ammo wasn't damp, and I loaded it and the gun worked, and it was fully equipped.